About density is it is unique to each mineral. If you guys remember from earlier in this course, we talked about the density is the ratio of mass to volume. And it's something that is basically unique to every mineral. So pyrite is going to have its own unique density. So every sample of pyrite, if you have pure pyrite, it will have the same density every single time. And it's mostly because of how we look at the structure of the mineral and the general atomic weight of the chemical composition of that mineral. Now, unfortunately, it means you have to be very, very careful on how you measure the density. Now, there's density, and then there's this thing called specific gravity. And specific gravity is almost like, well, it's a way in which we measure the density, but we do it under super controlled conditions. And it's where we measure the density at 4 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me why. But we do it at 4 degrees Celsius. And we do it with a volume that is the same as water. So it's got to be done with basically the same amount of water. So we measure the density of water at this temperature, and then we measure the same thing with the mineral. It's just something that's kind of, it's definitely something I want you guys to read further on in your textbook. Give you some more information on that. Now, the last two things that we can do here, the last few things, are other properties. What does refraction mean? Yeah, something like it bends light. If you have a clear calcite sample, the calcite refracts the light, and you can actually get double vision. Whoa. So if you put it over your something in your textbook, you'll actually see the word twice inside the mineral. All right. Then the last thing there is it can be reactive. Perfect example of that would be calcite with hydrochloric acid. Magnetite can be magnetic. And then you can have something like sulfur, which tends to release a small amount of odor. And you can definitely tell when we're burning sulfur. And then there's one more coming back to reactivity. That's worth mentioning. And this is what I've been wanting to show you guys the whole day, but we'll come back to that in just a minute. The last thing I want to talk about here is the difference between a rock and a gem. What makes something an ore or a gemstone? How do we go from minerals to gemstones? So I just passed around two sapphire, a sapphire and a ruby. Would you consider those to be gemstones? No. Okay, so what makes it a gemstone? Yeah, make it shiny, right? Well, when you're looking at here, what gemstone do you think this is? Emerald. Well, right there is the same thing.
So is this you making us in your words?
Nope. This is still a gemstone. And all a gemstone is something that's desired. In order to be considered a gemstone, it has to be desired. And in order to be an ore, it's the same thing. It has to be desired. It has to be wanted. There has to be something valuable inside that mineral, inside that rock to make it worthy. That's what makes it an ore or a gemstone. If we don't have that, then they're just normal stones.